There's a story we're often told on the spiritual path. For ages, many teachers have said that to find enlightenment, we have to dissolve our ego. We have to kill it, transcend it, starve it into submission. But what if that's one of the biggest misunderstandings in spiritual growth? What if that well-intentioned advice is actually wrong? Think about it. That constant battle against your ego, that feeling that you're not spiritual enough because of it, the frustration of that inner voice that just won't be quiet. What if that war is the very thing keeping you from the deep, profound peace you're looking for? In this video, we're going to flip that old wisdom on its head. We're going to explore why your ego isn't your enemy, but maybe your most powerful spiritual ally. I'll show you how befriending it, not fighting it, is the real key to unlocking who you truly are and finding a peace that is grounded, real, and unshakable. Stay with me. Let's be real for a second. In many spiritual circles, the ego is painted as the ultimate villain. It's the source of our problems, the root of suffering, the selfish monster keeping us chained to the material world. We're told that to be truly free, we have to annihilate it. And so we try. We meditate for hours trying to silence that voice in our heads. We chant mantras to rise above it. We judge ourselves for every so-called egoic thought, a flicker of pride, a pang of jealousy, that need to be right. We get caught in a brutal, exhausting, and frankly, endless inner conflict. It feels like a war against a part of ourselves. But did you ever stop and ask, who, exactly, is fighting this war? When you say, I need to get rid of my ego, who is the I that wants to do the getting rid of? It's the ego itself. The ego becomes the general in an army designed to destroy itself. It's a complete paradox. It's like trying to outrun your own shadow. The more you run, the more it's right there with you. This internal battle is a game we're set up to lose. It creates more suffering, not less. We feel like spiritual failures because this enemy inside is so persistent. We end up more frustrated, more divided, and even further from the wholeness we crave. But the problem isn't that your ego is too strong. The problem is that we fundamentally misunderstood what it is and why it's here. To see the ego as an ally, we have to toss out the cartoon villain caricature and look at what it actually is. In basic psychological terms, the ego is our sense of self. It's the part of our mind that gives us an identity, a feeling of continuity, and helps us function in the world. It's the I that wakes up, knows your name, goes to work, and talks to people. While some spiritual traditions define the ego as the grand illusion of being separate from the whole, a valid and profound perspective, for most of us in our daily lives, it functions as a tool. And a tool isn't inherently good or bad. Think of yourself as the vast, deep ocean, and your ego is the captain of the ship sailing on you. The captain's job is to navigate storms, avoid icebergs, and keep the ship from sinking. It developed during your childhood as a survival mechanism. Its number one job is to protect you from what it perceives as threats, physical, emotional, or mental. It built a personality, a set of beliefs and behaviors to help you feel safe and get your needs met. At its core, its intentions are good. It wants you to survive. The problem is, the captain is often using old, outdated maps based on childhood fears and wounds. It can be reactive, defensive, and controlling because it's terrified of the ship going down. So when we hear, kill the ego, it's like screaming at the captain to jump overboard during a hurricane. That's not just illogical, it's terrifying to that part of us. The captain will just grip the wheel even tighter, creating more tension, more fear. The path to a smooth journey isn't to throw the captain overboard, but to give them new maps and a better destination. It's about letting the ocean, your deeper, wiser consciousness, guide the journey, with the captain as a trusted and valued first mate. When we stop fighting and start listening, we find out this misunderstood captain has some incredible gifts for us. These are the superpowers that show up when we befriend our ego. The first gift is healthy boundaries. A strong, integrated ego is what allows you to say no when you mean no, and a clear yes when you mean yes. It guards your energy. It's the part of you that insists, "I deserve to be treated with respect," or recognizes, "This situation isn't healthy for me." People who try to obliterate their ego can sometimes become spiritual doormats, unable to protect their own well-being because they think having needs is unspiritual. A healthy ego provides the container for your self-worth. The second gift is the key to profound self-awareness. Your ego is a messenger. Every time it gets triggered, every flare of anger, wave of anxiety, or defensive reaction, it's delivering a message directly from your subconscious. It's a spotlight showing you exactly what needs to be healed. If you get furious when you feel ignored, the ego isn't the problem. It's the signal pointing to a deeper wound of not feeling seen or valued. When we listen to its alarms with curiosity instead of judgment, we can trace them to their source and start the real work of healing. The third, and maybe most crucial gift, is a foundation for true growth. You can't build a skyscraper on a swamp. You need a solid foundation. In the same way, many psychological and spiritual frameworks suggest you need a healthy, stable sense of self before you can safely explore transcendent states. While some traditions may advocate for dissolution, regardless of psychological health, for many of us, trying to dissolve a weak or fractured ego is like trying to leap from quicksand. You have to find solid ground first. A healthy ego provides that ground, allowing you to explore the vastness of your spiritual nature without losing your anchor in reality. The goal isn't to destroy the ego, but to integrate it into a larger, more whole sense of self. So, how do we actually do this? How do we shift from being at war with our ego to becoming its friend? It really boils down to 3 practical approaches. First, observation without judgment. This is the core of mindfulness. When an ego-driven thought pops up, "I'm not good enough, they shouldn't have done that, I need to be in control," instead of fighting it or blindly believing it, you just notice it. You step back and think, there's the ego, doing its job trying to protect me. You witness it as a function of your mind, not the whole truth of who you are. This simple act creates space, and in that space, you're no longer the prisoner of the thought. You are the awareness watching it. Second, dialogue and compassion. Once you can observe the ego, you can start to relate to it differently. Instead of yelling at it, get curious. Treat it like a scared kid. You could literally ask it, "What are you so afraid of right now? What are you trying to protect me from?" You'll often find that under the anger is fear, and under the fear is a deep need for safety, love, or validation. By offering it compassion instead of criticism, you start to heal the very wounds causing its defenses. You can say to it, "Thank you for trying to protect me. I know you're doing your best, but I'm the adult in the room now, and we are safe." Third, integration, not annihilation. The ultimate aim isn't to kill the ego, but to put it in its proper place. A healthy psyche isn't one without an ego. It's one where the ego serves the deeper self, not the other way around. The ego is a brilliant servant, but a terrible master. Through observation and compassion, you teach the ego that it doesn't need to be the frantic, fearful dictator of your life anymore. Its role shifts from a captain trying to control everything to a valued lookout in the crow's nest, scanning the horizon for information and reporting back to the true leader of the ship, your calm, centered, conscious self. Before we wrap up, we have to talk about one of the ego's sneakiest moves, the spiritual ego. This is what happens when the ego isn't befriended, but just puts on a new, holy-looking costume. It's the part of us that uses spiritual ideas to feel superior. "I'm more awake than they are. I've done so much shadow work." Or, the most ironic one of all, "I have finally transcended my ego." This is the ego's last stand, a trap so many of us fall into. But a person with a truly integrated ego doesn't need to boast about not having one. They have a humble, working relationship with it. They know its habits, they listen to its messages, and they don't let it run the show. They have a sense of humor about their own humanity. They get that true spiritual maturity isn't about becoming perfect, it's about becoming whole. The war against the ego was never a war we were meant to win. It was a profound misunderstanding of our own inner world. The path to deep, authentic spiritual growth isn't through destruction, but through friendship. It's not about silencing a part of yourself, but about finally learning to listen with love. Your ego isn't a roadblock on your path. It's the very vehicle for your journey. It holds the map to your deepest wounds and the keys to your greatest strengths. By learning to work with it, to honor its role, and to lead it with wisdom and compassion, you don't just find peace, you find a resilient, grounded, and unshakable wholeness. The real journey starts when you stop fighting and start listening. So my question for you is this: what is one way you can start befriending your ego this week? Maybe it's just noticing its voice without getting mad at it. Maybe it's thanking it for trying to keep you safe. Share your commitment in the comments below. Putting it out there is a powerful way to make this journey real for yourself.